table full of melanite. If nobody gon' shine, I don't need the ice. It's real talk. Yeah. Speaking on the times, cause my people need to see. Third eye blind, no, they lying through their teeth. They tryna loop the time, tryna keep us in a sleep. But you know we gotta rise like the steam in the heat. Quantum physics to a beat, how time zones lead. It matter just the data that your brain gon' see. Alchemy, you master all that photon light. Avatar, the body just the temple, do you see? The deities surround me, I feel the peace. Breathe deep, I push chi like Bruce Lee. Yo, it's Dragon Ball Z, I'm Super Saiyan 3. And we finna walk them down, any town, any street. New world on horizon, I can see the silver lining. Cause the sun gon' shine, then we all keep shining. Mighty lion can heal the pain, you know his name. But they stand on the same old thing. They playing, well let's talk about it. Round table full of melanite. Crystal body gon' shine, I don't need the ice. Deity, and me, you gon' see it's rise. My people so divine, know it's our time. Let's talk about it.
Let's have the conversation.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's have the conversation.
I don't wanna hear that he say, that she say. You're listening to parasites on replay. They tap into my phone to listen like we on three-way. It's tap into your aura, feel the energy like heat waves. Let's talk about it. Who you praying to? When you start to lose your mind, who is saving you? If you're moving through the time, what's the energy that's moving you? I wanna have the conversation. We always dropping gems back and forth, like great debating. We making our own way, our own land, our own pavement. Just tuning up the spaceship. I like to wake up with the sun. Say my daily mantra, speaking crypto, speaking tongues. Tell them what I'm after, we're the one to get it done. I feel my enemies around me. 7 deadly sins, they tryna trap and keep me bounded. I'm not staying around, I get my peoples and I'm outie. Yeah.
Round table full of melanite. Crystal body gon' shine, I don't need the ice. Deity, and me, you gon'
Greetings.
Greetings.
Gratitude. Hey, y'all. Hey, greetings and gratitude for tuning in. Let's have the conversation. How is everyone? Everybody doing okay?
Good.
Good. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Committee. Oh, good. 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 I hope the committee out there is doing well. We've missed you since the last time we've seen it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? At any rate, we got a good show, I think. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should just hop on into this. Let's kick it over to Miss Malika with the crypto and the peoples and things.
So I don't know if all of you have seen it. And greetings, committee, greetings, family, greetings, panel. I don't know if you, I don't know if you all have seen.
We got to hug through charming. Let's hug through charming.
I love you all so much. Okay, so I don't know if you all have heard these stories that I've been seeing them pop up on my timeline of the crypto founders who have been popping up dead recently. Between October and today's date, the end of October and today, there have been 3 that I have seen in particular. One is TNT and Coolander, and I'm reading my notes because I am not well versed in this, but I did have a long conversation with hubby tonight, so he could try kind of fill me in on what exactly is happening. But TNT and Coolander, co-founder of the Amber Group, died in his sleep on 11/23. He was 30 years old, and his company had a $3 billion value. Forex Club founder was the Russian Carbon. You had mentioned this earlier also. The Russian gentleman, he was the sole passenger of an aircraft that just recently went down. He was 53 years old, and he owned one of 3 of the largest Forex trading companies. Yes, one of the 3 largest. And then there is another young gentleman who passed away, I believe, before both of them. And this is the one that I said was going to be a bit of a shocker when you all hear this one. So he passed away. He actually drowned in Puerto Rico. And this was on October 29th, right? He did a lot with the Dow. And right a week before his passing, he tweeted, and I quote, CIA and Mossad and pedo elite are running some kind of sex trafficking, entrapment, blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and Caribbean islands. They are going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex-girlfriend who was a spy. They will torture me to death. He tweeted this a week before they found him dead from a drowning in Puerto Rico. Now, before I ask your thoughts, I want you to keep in mind, I asked Ro, I said, why, what is it that would make, because Ro used to trade also, and I said, what is it that would make these larger entities that be want to take these individuals out? And he had explained to me that they are devaluing the dollar. With them creating so much power behind crypto, and this is for everyone that doesn't know much about this either, like myself, for these individuals who are pushing crypto, and it's becoming this large thing, this large source of money. It's creating multimillionaires. It's creating where the people that had the money already were not interested in crypto in the beginning. They thought that it was like foolish type of play games type of thing. And what happened is, as these built up in their value, these individuals are becoming millionaires. They were entering the Billionaire Boys Club with no invitation. And they were the you and me's of the world that weren't corrupted by a lot of the other things. And in that also, they were devaluing the dollar as that kept generating. So that's what he believes is the main reason why they're taking these individuals out. So panel, what do you think, especially about that tweet? I want to know what you think.
I think you hit the nail was hit on the head with you and Ro, because George Carlin said it best. It's a big club and you ain't in it. You not invited. Okay, so it makes sense if somebody is found their way up into the club that wasn't invited. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And especially if the corporation, whatever that title may be, whatever company that may be, wants to have a monopoly on it, and there's other people. Yeah, I could totally see it. Totally see it. I'm done.
I just wanted to say, first thing that comes to mind is Utopia from Amazon Prime, how she was a planted spy, and literally he's letting you know there are planters. The person we were just told in Takeoff's interview as well, there are planters in your life. So I thought that was interesting. I love the tweet. I love that he left a paper trail so you could be like, they can call me crazy, but the real people are going to know what I'm saying. They're going to understand. They're going to take this and know this isn't a game. And I want you to see that I'm going to leave the pieces of the puzzle. You just put it together. But if they were to kill me, I left it there for you. You take and do with it what you will. That's all I got to say.
But did they or did they not kill him because he died in water? Was this a ritual? Huh? Or was this a message? I feel that this could possibly have been a ritual. Why? Because if you are a billionaire and you got there by hard work, break your back, you know, all the things are the things that billionaires do, and you telling me that somebody with technology was able to get to where I am, I want to know how you do it. So I am not going to do the obvious just by putting a bullet to your head. I am going to make sure that I am able to obtain you, your soul, so that you can be able to walk me through the process to continue what other people are now jumping on. So it's now monkey see, monkey do. So I feel like panel. This is about to be some shit. Okay. We are about to see, because it's, and then what's crazy is all three of them. So it's like we need all three of these people to create something. So that's just my thoughts on it. Because that's, I mean, I had no clue about it, but just you giving me the information, gratitude for Malik always coming through with the info. I like it. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, so I went to see if I could find anything on Twitter. I'm sorry, Twitter is like so easy, right at the tip of your fingers. You just type something, it's right there. And apparently he died 4 hours after he tweeted that. Within the same day. I don't know if I thought you said maybe like a day or two, but I'm looking and apparently he died 4 hours after he tweeted that. So his name is Nikolai, who died from drowning. who you mentioned, Tien Tien Colander died in his sleep, and then the third person, Vyash
Yeah,
Shalav
pronounce
Karen
it.
died in a
Pronounce it, Charming.
helicopter.
Pronounce that one. That's what I'm
I be
saying.
trying. I be trying. Yes, I be trying. But he died in a helicopter accident, and so I just seen that there's another well, this looked like it happened last year according to this article, but last year a Bitcoin billionaire died in, some random place, leaving behind 2 billion in Bitcoin, or in, crypto. um and so that actually kind of like brings me around to, before I go move on, does anybody else want to say anything related to that? Because I'm basically going to the next story, but it's related, so I don't want to cut anybody off. So
I just want to piggyback on somebody said in a comment real quick. Miss Quatita did say, stay out of that cryptocurrency shit. She said that a while ago. Anywho.
I was just gonna say what Corbin just said, but I agree with everyone on the panel. Like, it's definitely giving ritual. It's definitely giving setup, and it's definitely giving. You have to be, it's levels to this type of stuff when it comes to money, especially when you go from hundreds, thousands, millionaires, billionaires. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole type of ball game we talking about here. So if you ain't did what they did to get there, they're gonna always find a way to bring you back down. And if you ain't getting down with them, then you got to get taken out, basically. So I agree with that.
But I wonder, okay, because we did bring up the Russian guy. The Russian guy, that's the name y'all was trying to pronounce. Okay. Yes. So Spirit did say stay away from the cryptocurrency. Spirit did say that. But I'm wondering, like, is this the reason why? Because you can make a lot of money inside of it, and it can get you like this kind of attention, or I didn't ask. All I know is Spirit says stay away from it, but that's deep.
It's quick, Quatita. I remember roll trading, and we would go to sleep and wake up, and 500 would turn into $10,000. I know with Dogecoin, I remember him kicking himself because he was like, I should have got it, because Elon Musk, I believe it was, he invested overnight, and it went from like 0.0000 to 14 cents. So everybody overnight became millionaires if you owned a Dogecoin. Right. So it was like that rapidly. So all these people running in your DMs, like, it was kind of truth, but it wasn't really true, because it don't happen to everybody, but it happened with them.
Right.
Really quick, Charming.
Can you pull it out?
Yeah, we've withdrawn.
But that, I was going to say that the thing with it is Elon Musk would tweet something, the value of it would skyrocket up, and then he would do something that was against the value of it, or would make the value of it go down. And so people were literally losing their life savings because they put it all into there because Elon Musk said we were going up. I remember that. Elon Musk said we're going to the moon. I remember. And people were losing their life savings and literally themselves because they were investing it based off of the word of Elon Musk. And that was the problem, is he was toying with people, because he can invest it and lose it, and it's not a big deal. But people who saved up 100,000 and invested it so they could be millionaires, and they went from being millionaires to not millionaires, that sounds like
there were a lot of Melanites though that said, all right, this genome gonna play some tricks. So when it went up, when it shot up, they pulled and they ate well off of that pull. I did want to say, in regards to the young man who drowned in Puerto Rico, the fact that he stated pedo elite as well, linked to trafficking. Okay, so the fact that he said pedo elite as well makes me wonder, these little off-site islands, right? What was he invited to when he was out there? Because that's not where he's from. What did he see? What was he threatened with? Why he said that they were going to place a planted laptop. What was on the laptop? Those are the definitely giving ritual, but I'm wondering what is happening off of the coast of Puerto Rico, where he specifically said Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands, that is linked to pedo elites and planted laptops, because we know they always catch them with a laptop and a drive that, isn't supposed to have what it has on it. So I want to know what happened there. It's
all that says to me is they watch these people, they take pictures, take videos, whatever the case may be, while they partying, whatever the case may be. and they put these laptops together, the insurance policies. Like, oh, okay, you want to play? Okay, we can play. But remember, you was snorting that line off them titties. Yeah, we got that. Remember when you was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got that. Oh, okay,
I remember with
I'm done.
Johnny
That's
Gosh
exactly
when
what happened in Utopia.
Hmm.
With
with
what
if
Jose was talking about. The wife literally, he was trying to, spoiler alert, if y'all watch it by now, whatever. He was trying to solve the disease, and he was on the brink of it, and the wife was basically like, "I'm gonna tell everybody you're a pedophile." And he was like, "Why?" And she was like, "I got these videos and these pictures," and she was like, basically just switched it around and was like, "I'm basically your handler," and he's like, "Whoa," so that's exactly
Carbon,
what
I was gonna say you're right on it with that, because if with Johnny Gosh and the history, that whole story with Johnny Gosh, and that goes so deep, even into the Franklin scandal. There was a photographer that they spoke about during that whole story that was hired specifically by the heads of these rings to go to the parties and take photos of everyone after they engaged in whatever candies were available for the night's event, and would take pictures of specific people, especially to ensure that they had what they needed to hold against those individuals. Because if I'm going down, you're going down with me.
Yep, yep. See, that's insane. Yeah, and not just even it's as simple as we've talked about it before. The hoes that be fucking these people and all that kind of. They take the pictures too, and they send them right on over to whoever they're supposed to go to, and they get their cash app or whatever, however it's set up. Yeah, all day. Okay.
Charming.
Yeah, Charming. You said you was gonna go somewhere else with this, so go for it, baby.
Yep. So the next topic is the FTX, which I think will kind of help answer Katita's question as to why we shouldn't have been involved in it. Um, so basically, I tried to take some notes because I don't know about the jargon of this stuff either. All I know is it's some tea and it's some drama. Um, so FTX is a cryptocurrency exchange. It is ran by Sam Bankman Fried or Freed. I don't know. He's Jewish. Um, his parents are lawyers from Stanford. And he's only 30 years old. So I find that kind of telling as well. He kind of started um, being involved in this in like 2012, which it's like 22 years old. So I find that telling as well. So I looked up like a couple of things about the crypto, about FTX. It says, so he was a large donator to the Democratic Party. And I guess recently in interviews, he said that he donated to both parties. But I guess when it was going on, he only ever said out loud he was donating to Democratic parties, but he was really donating to both. So the other thing that I found extremely interesting was that, um, he was the second largest individual donor to Biden in 2020. So as this company that's only been around for 2 years, this crypto, he was the second largest donor. I didn't write the number down. I forgot to. I think it was like 5.2 million. And then not only that, he was the second largest donor in the 2021-2022 elections behind George Soros. This is an individual. This is like three people running a crypto, and they're giving that much money to the Democratic Party. So, with that being said, let me see. Basically, what people are saying is that at one point, Ukraine, or at one point, so the government funded Ukraine, and then Ukraine. So it says 200 million were raised for Ukraine and distributed through FTX to a bank in Ukraine. The Ukrainian government only used 22 million. The remaining 178 million is most likely being shared among the elite in DC. So that's just somebody's opinion on it, but it kind of helps to clarify it. So basically, at one point, they're saying that FTX helped the Democratic Party to launder large amounts of money into their campaigns and into their pockets as well. This dude Sam, even though this is being happening, and basically all of these donation money is coming from the people who own the crypto, the people who paid for it. So it's literally coming from tax dollars pockets. He's not going to jail. He's not getting in trouble. Nothing is happening to him. And, obviously it's probably because they hired him for a reason. Another thing about it is it says earlier in the year, SBF, who is Sam, the owner of FTX, invested $11.5 million into a Farmington State Bank in Washington State. And it's the 26th smallest bank in the U.S. It only serves a town of 146 people, and it has 3 employees. And so essentially this is about how this company,
how did you get all that money? Am I tripping? Is that a lot of fucking money for a small town with nobody in
money? Well, so that's the thing is he invested that much amount of money in this bank, and my camera goes blurry, so I hope you guys can see it. But damn, you can't see it. But the bank literally looks like a freaking little garage house. And oh my goodness, it's too bright, you can't see it. But basically the point is that why is he investing that much into this tiny building? And I've recently learned about laundering through Ozarks, and I know what laundering looks like, And so the last point of this all is that it says if the U.S. government gives refunds to all of the people who lost their assets through having at FTX, they will more than likely try to give it through a new digital currency that is controlled and regulated by the federal government, basically. And so back to what Quatita said, we didn't want to use crypto because it was unregulated. And they tried to make it seem like it being unregulated was a good thing. But that's literally the reason why people who are rich off of it are dead. And, because they're going to try to make their own digital currency. And then that's going to roll us into the point system, into the social credit system.
And we know anybody that tries to create their own currency always ends up dead. Go ahead, Governor. I'm sorry.
No. Somebody's comment, Yvonne's comment in the committee made me think of something connected to all of this. Maybe it might be connected to all of this. When I saw a video yesterday of a Melanite woman, she's African, of African descent to some degree, and she was saying that Haiti is the real Wakanda, and that there was an extraterrestrial landing like 45,000 years ago or something, and that's where all of the money pretty much, like they're trying to get all of this. I think this is deeper than what it looks like, because cryptocurrency is just digital shit. This is about playing with numbers.
So gratitude to AKA Unlimited Services, as you were saying that, because it made me think of something else that Rose said. And Cowgirl, that's what I call, if y'all are wondering what I call AKA Unlimited Services. If you were at the retreat, you understand. So Cowgirl have put in there that it's now taxable income, so they can see who's making money from it. When these individuals, these little techies, got together and started doing this crypto stuff, it was really supposed to be to get away from all of those regulations. It was supposed to be like the people's money, the people's banking system, to where you wouldn't have to depend on the banks and this and this and that. So when it skyrocketed the way that they did, of course, the government stepped in and they put a bunch of regulations on it. And now they have to pay all these different taxes and all of these different things. So it ends up being like a lot of the things that we start for a good reason, and they make into a toxic thing. So they pretty much use the back of this amazing thing these individuals were creating to now use it as a diving board for the pond of scum that they are. Let's just put it that way. So when they added those regulations and they did all of those things, you didn't see as many people climbing up in the crypto ladder or the crypto world as you were before. And that would lead directly into the warning that governance had given us previously, where now they have a different way to control us. Stay away from it. And I really believe Chaz had mentioned this previously, Charming had mentioned this previously, that they were going to, or are you going to, with all of these recent passings, utilize this to create that New World Order coin, where there's one form of digital currency and the paper dollar is omitted from our use. There we go, cowgirl.
And if you're not following the rules, if you're not registered and licensed and in the way they want you to be licensed, you don't get your funds, you don't get your, I don't know, digital money, I guess. So, and that's going to be the problem, is it's literally going to look like the credit system, like
Absolutely.
Patina said.
Absolutely, they're trying to make this like China with the social scoring and all that. Absolutely. I'm waiting, or I wonder if there will be a way to take something like, for example, something like this, not this, but something like this, plug it into the system to get your digital currency out of it. Like you can pull cash out the ATM. Will there be a way for you to be able to pull your funds out of this system, or will it just, is it just gonna be stuck and they have total utter control over you? And that's what I want to know, because it's coming.
Can I say something real quick in connection to what you're saying? This reminds me, this is where we have to go back to, and we have to fucking remember that this is all a fucking mind game. Nothing. That's why I brought up Haiti, because nothing has value. This is all trickery bullshit. If you go to the bank, you got $20 million, you cannot pull that out. You cannot. They're going to tell you no. Right. This is bullshit. It's all trickery bullshit. Unless you hold some sort of vibranium, some kind of gold, some kind of motherfucking whatever they got over there in Haiti. If you don't actually have that, you hear me? If you don't actually have that in your tangible person, then you don't really have shit. I don't care what them numbers say, because they can go in there and clear your bank account out. I've seen The Net, the movie The Net. That bitch was gone. Right. They erased her whole everything. She didn't even exist, period. Go ahead, Aubrey.
I have a question. Sorry, go ahead, Aubrey. I have a question for you after this, governor.
Girl, I'm over here agreeing, honey, because it makes so much sense. And with me working in a banking institution, there's no lies told. Absolutely not. We have to be real cautious on what we're doing with our coinage. Yes, because, honey, what they are doing, they're trying to move everything digitally. Your banking apps, digital. It's to the point now where people are not even visiting the branches. So it's slowly but surely coming to pass to where you're not even going to be able to do anything but have that good old credit card. Yes, ma'am, honey. And they want you to make sure that your money is being like cryptocurrency, to where they want you to have like CDs where you're making money off of it. And that's the big thing that they're pushing. Money, 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 money. We know that you got $75K in your account. That's a lot of money to you. But as an institution, the only way that we're going to be able to keep making money off of you is if we can be able to do what we need to do. And that's gamble your shit through our motherfucking bank. It is crazy out here. So listen, I'm agreeing. I just wanted to say that, but it just made a lot of sense. It was clicking. You know how I do. I be getting excited. So that was neat.
No, Miss Aubrey, you're not telling no lies. You're not telling no lies. I went to the bank. This was a couple of months ago. I went to the bank out in the valley, and I need to get some money. Just, like $40. You know what I'm saying? And we don't do cash here anymore. Huh? Oh no, we don't have cash. So what the fuck do you get paid to do? What are you here for? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean you don't do cash? You don't have cash? What is your job? Like, I don't understand that. Go ahead, Al.
Okay, so what was this Monday? We were told that one of our branches does not have any tellers. It has a maybe $30,000 ATM that basically gives you your money, is able for you to deposit your checks, is able to balance everything that you would do with an actual human being, the ATM machine will be able to do it. Scan your checks, will tell you that if it's honey, it is on. And these banks are buying these machines because eventually it's gonna look like, y'all know how Bank of America have them little those little out of the blue little stand, like little buildings. They're like real small buildings with like 3 or 4 ATMs in them, and you can go in there if you slide your card. If you can get in there, that's the only way that you're going to be able to have access. So it's to the point to where they're all going to be like that, to where everything is going to be pure robotic. And those actual machines, oh, go ahead.
They have the shopping carts as well, Aubrey, where as you're shopping, you're just scanning your shit, putting it in the bag. You don't even have to go up to the counter anymore.
Nope.
And then you can put your hand on the goddamn thing, and that's gonna pay. Listen,
Amazon.
I don't remember that.
This is turning into China, like.
That's how Sam's is.
Sam's
has it. Sam's has it like that, where you can just scan as you go, and then you just, I mean, because I do it. Listen,
I do the same thing as Sam's.
And y'all are gonna have to save me. I just had this conversation with someone. Someone is going to have to be prepared to pull me out of the meta, okay? Because they snatch my soul. I'm a tech, and I'm so sad about this because these are all things that I love. Like, that sounds so cool to me to put my hand over and scan it, but it's them using everything for evil. That's just like, you're ruining everything. Like, this is supposed to be cool, fun stuff to make life easier for us. And instead you use easy to trap us. And I wanted to ask Governess, in regards to what you were saying about Haiti, do you then believe that that's why that specific political party had so many dealings in Haiti? And even, you know, the babies that were being removed and taken out of there, do you think it's connected to that, the Wakanda?
I do now, seeing that video. At first I didn't understand it. Why are you bringing them over here? How, like, we have to understand how many Haitians have made it over here. Why? How are they getting here? Well, I could not understand that. I do now. Yes, I do now.
Yeah,
Absolutely. We can take our break.
Yeah, I was about to say, looking at the time, let's go and take a break, y'all. We're going to be right back after these messages.
Whoever said that everything that glitters isn't gold never met goddesses. When my mind and heart feel led astray, or even on a gloomy day, when negative energies come my way, return to sender with one spray. With intention, I will mist, ensuring protection, peace, and bliss. From the north, south, east, and west, Goddessence makes me feel my best. Goddessence Calming Protection Mist, available now at www.grandrising.com.
Hey, and we back.
Because what y'all not gonna do is play with my sis. She said, period. You want to wait, okay, listen. Before we move forward, I got one more thing to say. Why am I honestly thinking about what? Okay, so was Black Diamond, the movie, was that taking place in Haiti?
I don't know. I don't know where that was. I know it's like over the water somewhere.
Because all I could think about was, okay, so when they went to Wakanda, they were looking for what is it called? The what's
vibranium.
Right. So even back in the movie, they were looking for the diamonds, and those diamonds were pure.
Okay. So even probably last year, when the spirit sent through the message, they said that there is a war under the water. And we could not understand. I didn't understand what the war would be under the water until this movie. Now they're looking for something, Aubrey. They're looking for a whole bunch of shit. Like I said, over in Houston, under the ground, we don't know what's under there. There is something under there of value. So wherever these entities, deities, beings have landed, they have different things that they're looking for, and we just don't know what they are.
It's like we're living in our real own universe of Steven Universe. If everyone has watched it, how they knew where certain things were located and they were looking for, and we're just the crystal gems trying to figure it all out.
Wait,
I'm gonna have
I've
to
seen it,
watch
but not for
that.
real. Like Jose, that's what that's about.
Yeah,
Like
it's like
I've
they are
seen it,
coming back looking for things. And
Really?
the High Council is like blue diamond, white diamond, yellow diamond, pink diamond.
because
The
when I
Wow.
layers of
watched,
Steven Universe goes deep.
It really
yeah,
It
does.
when I
goes
watched it, I was
it goes
able to
deeper than
connect like the Luciferian story with Adina. I was able to connect that with Pearl, Garnett, and Pink Diamond. I was able to connect that shit, but they didn't want to make Garnett what she should have been, which was Pink Diamond.
yeah.
They put the Pink Diamond as the hit, but whatever, we ain't gonna even get into all that. But okay. The HIPAA and the jab and blood clots. Come on, panel. Okay,
Yeah.
I
So
started off. I
go
started
for it.
off.
Please do.
Okay, so there has been a lot of controversy over who took the jab, who didn't take the jab. Should we have gotten a jab? Should we get the jab? Now, there was a lot of mandatory jabs out there, right? To keep jobs and all of these different things that ended up going away, which was only a tactic because you never needed it. You know what I'm saying? Because now you don't need it. Like they're not forcing it. You know what I'm saying? They're not enforcing it. But we were discussing earlier because it was something. What was it? Because we said they cannot even do that because it is against, and I've been saying this probably for like the last 2 years. It is against HIPAA. You never have to disclose your medical record to anyone ever. Ever. You don't have to do that. And so, because you don't have to do that, any employer that's asking you that is out of line and it is against HIPAA and OSHA regulations.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, y'all. Come on, panel. And we'll get into the blood clot of this too.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, I just saw a story where there is a unvaccinated mother whose child needs a life-saving procedure done, but is refusing to take any vaccinated blood, anybody that's been vaccinated, and it's a big thing. I believe it goes back to what you said years ago, governance, that it at some point, and it is now, but it's really going to be the vaccinated against the unvaccinated. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at just the way it's going, just the way it's going. Um, but yeah. It's a scary thing, and the fact that people feel like they can just ask you about your whatever. HIPAA's there for a reason. HIPAA is in place for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm done, y'all. Go ahead.
The conversation, Governess, you were asking was with when we were talking about the job requiring us to give our status. And based on them saying that it's required, they ask you what your status is. And I'll talk about myself because I don't point anybody else out since it's connected to jobs. Uh, However, imagine working for a hospital and they require that information. And then after you give them that information, you have to take a course on the importance of HIPAA law. It is so backwards. It doesn't make sense. And I remember my coding instructor telling me a very long time ago not to sign anything, to cross out everything on your forms if you do not agree with it, and then sign it. Put a note on there saying that you do not agree with what's on there, because they violate their own rules and their own laws in so many ways. And back then, she was giving the heads up that eventually this is what's going to end up being the thing. And you see it on episodes of like Black Mirror and those kind of shows where they now go into this whole space where nothing is private for you anymore, and your employers can look and base hiring you off of your medical history, whether or not you have certain diseases. Even when it comes down to drug exams and drug tests, I feel like that's slightly a violation, because why are you telling me you have to take my blood or my urine or any of those things to hire me? All you need to do is do a background check to see if I'm a violent offender or not, because I made that public
Where do
record
you
when I
draw the
committed that
line?
crime.
You know what I'm saying? Where do
Right.
you draw the line? Because the
Right.
fact of the matter is, if I come to work high and I don't do my job, fire me. What else are we talking about? They do these things like now where they're looking at your credit score for jobs. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Many people are not getting jobs due to credit scores. Like my credit score is fucking bad because I need this job. Bitch, quit playing with me.
Real
What are
talk.
we talking about?
You are
That is
not
to
lying.
weed out. That's to weed it out.
You have to wonder then who else has access to your credit score information. I mean, hypothetically speaking, what if your hospital record included your credit score information? And if so, what would they be using that for? And how could they be separating individuals based on that or giving different services based on that information? Just like they use your insurance type against you when you go into a hospital. I've seen individuals with no insurance be put in like little wheelie beds next to the wall with like a curtain around them because they have no insurance, and the hospital knows that they're not going to get paid the money they would for from insurance companies. So it's, how far does it go? And back to Black Mirror, it reminds me of the score based on social status, the one with the lady, she ended up going crazy. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it was based on your social status, and that's how they gave you a score in your everyday life. And people got to judge you like you rate an Uber driver, you're judged like that in life, and that's your credit score. And that goes back to the one coin. It's all connected because that's the system now, the social system, as far as the dollar that we're seeing happen in China, where all of this craziness is going on over there. It's all connected, and they're taking advantage in every way, shape, or form that they can, whether it's medical, financial, all of it. They just want to rule everything. Just shut up and do what we say.
And
What
to
if?
tag on, hold on, I'm sorry,
Well, I was
Carmen.
Yeah, go for it.
And to tag on to what governess and Malika what y'all said, it seems as though anything that is attached to the government, oh honey, you got to be all of these things, you got to have all of these things, and they are actually implementing these things, which is crazy because it's like, why do you need so much of me in order for me to be classified to be approved for this position? When we are taught that the only qualification that you need is experience and or the piece of paper that indicated that you have a master's or whatever level of education that you have.
I mean, that begs to the same question, Aubrey. Why does it say male, female? Why does it say your race, your ethnicity? Why does that matter if I can do the fucking job?
Exactly.
I think the social scoring is nothing going to be
Jose?
another way. Oh yeah, Jose. I'll go after Jose. I'm sorry, Jose.
I was just gonna say they also do it to piggyback off of what you were saying, Carmen. They do it in the dating field with the whole jab and whatnot, because that's another way they're trying to make us combat against somebody. They want you to sit there and tell someone, we can't date if you don't have this, that, and the fourth. And it's hidden different ways to where they have learned how to play, not on us, but play checkers versus chess on certain people. You can see how they're moving their pawns and how they're doing it because they've learned we can do this in multiple ways. They think it has one multitude. Let's show them that this can have levels. Even with the job force, it used to be, like you said, experience. Then they tried it with the whole, we're not going to hire you based off your name, based off of how you look. Now they're trying to amp it up to where it's qualifications. We have to show them we are in control. You tried taking control so delicately before, and still it was still wrong. Now you're trying to amp it up, but that's all I have to say on that.
No, I totally feel you. Damn, I had a brain fart, y'all. At any rate, I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? Well, I remember. I'm gonna say what I remember first. Anyway, I don't know if you guys know, but as far as the jab is concerned, all the people that were fired in New York during that time period, those thousands of people, yeah, they have to be rehired. This was done by the judge, the Supreme Court. They said they have to be rehired, every last one of them, and they have to get that back pay. Period. So everybody that held out Everybody that held out and didn't get that jab and yada yada yada, and on the East Coast, good for you guys, because you guys you getting your point, and you held on to your morals. Good for
But
y'all.
that makes
Good
me
for
so
y'all.
fucking angry. That makes me
Mm-hmm.
angry, Carbon. It makes me
Mm-hmm.
happy, but it makes me angry because you have tricked these people into getting this jab. You
Mm-hmm.
have tricked them
Yeah.
into getting it. And some people are so devastated that they got it.
Yeah.
They are. You
But
know what I'm saying? They
Oh,
made it.
governance
no.
accountability.
Yeah.
Governance
No, it's
accountability.
accountability, but people were scared to not feed their children and pay their
Children.
bills.
I
That was
Mm-hmm.
a
get that.
real
I get
fear
that.
for people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they forced this down their throats, mandatory, mandatory, mandatory. Unless you said you was a fucking Melonite, or unless you said you was a Rastafarian Melonite, then they were giving exempts to people. But even in some of those instances, they fired those people for something else later. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
people really, really like, and those, let's go and get into it because those who have taken it are experiencing blood clots.
Yep.
Yes, they are. The coroners are not even calling them blood clots, y'all. They're calling them something totally like some kind of fiber something. First of all, what they're pulling out of people, they're elastic almost like rubber bands, and whatever cavities that they're filling, it's like okay. For instance, if you have the blockage in your heart, right? Not only is it filling up your aorta, okay, but it's swelling to the size of your actual heart. So when they're cutting open your heart, they're pulling out this clot that's the shape of your heart, and it's totally that's why these people are dropping dead. They're finding these fibers, clots, whatever you want to call them, in parts of the body that don't even develop clots, different veins and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not in main vessels, not in main arteries, not in main. Yeah, it's insane. I wish I had some pictures because it was like a 2-hour documentary that I watched on it. But yeah, it's scary, y'all. And for me, it ties together with governors was saying a while ago, as far as when we do start seeing people liquefying from the inside out. This is a good start, and this is a good reason why. I'm just putting it out there, y'all. Because if you could see what I saw, what they was pulling out these people, it's like what the fuck? Yeah, like how? Okay, I'm done.
Was it moving? Like when they pulled them out, was it moving? Like was it like a parasite type thing or?
No, it wasn't moving. I think it's probably, well, not probably. We know it's alive while it's in the body, but I feel like it's a host situation. So once the host dies, it dies as well. It's done its job, kind of thing.
Okay.
Because I didn't see anything moving. What's up,
I did
Malika?
want to mention because it had came to me when governance was saying what she was saying about the fear tactics. That sounds like a lawsuit. That sounds like pain and suffering. That sounds like I was psychologically affected and I can no longer do my job because I do not trust my workplace. That sounds like find a lawyer to the individuals that stayed and did agree to it. You agreed against your will. You were forced into it by your employer. That just, it feel like it could be a little something or something so that you can get your payout too. Not that it makes up for it. Go ahead, Governor.
But no, that's
I want to
exactly
say
what it
this,
is.
adding it to this conversation, because earlier I know y'all said that some people were dropping dead from heart complications because this is like in their heart spaces and like blocking some shit and they're dropping dead, which speaks to why all these people are just dropping dead from heart issues and they don't want to speak on it. But there's been so many different reports from doctors and different speakers of different sorts saying that they already knew that the jab did not stop anything. It didn't even stop anything. Like you could still catch this shit if you're catching it while you had it. So what was actually the reason if it wasn't for to depopulate? And I feel like, again, I've said it time and time again. Let's really look at the big picture and see what it is. And if they're so fucking smart inside of their manipulation, why not just say it? Take it to the fucking battlefield. You are killing people. Then when I spoke on it and said they were liquefying bodies, putting it in motherfucking everything else, they blocked my channel twice. But why would they do that when it's legal?
Mm-hmm.
We are not supposed to know what the law says.
Exactly.
It's legal in 21 states. We are not supposed to know. Come now.
Yeah. We're supposed to be stupid. We're supposed to be absolute just dumb. Um yeah,
So
go ahead.
let me say this after governance because it's really funny. Because, what we talked about earlier in my situation in regards to the, it's funny how multiple people have had COVID and were out on COVID and were vaccinated. And I'm like, y'all over here still getting sick. This is my fourth time getting COVID. What? Your fourth time to my zero? Girl, no ma'am.
They're carriers. They're carriers.
Yep. Yep. And you know what, you guys, I just thought about it. Several family members of mine have had that jab, and the whole clot situation. Somebody in my family was just diagnosed with clots recently. You know what I'm saying? So they're probably growing that shit in their body right now as we speak. It's sad. It's scary. But unfortunately, it's a reality. Oh, Malika, that's what I wanted to say. Everything you said as far as it being illegal and lawsuits and all that, baby, it's called the Nuremberg Code. It's already been done. 1940s. They sued. They tried to do this already. Go look up the Nuremberg Code. They tried to put people's jobs online for scientific experiments, medical experiments, and it was a big lawsuit. People were hung, the whole nine. Nuremberg Code. It's already been done.
Was that before or after the Spanish flu?
I think that's after the Spanish flu. This was like 1940s or so.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, look it up. Nuremberg Code. Yep. Okay, so y'all, this is me, huh? Moving right along. This is a little feel-good story, y'all. This baby, she's 10 years old. Mama went into labor. I can't remember if they was in the car or at home, but regardless, this baby delivered her sibling, and she's only 10. And I just want to play this for y'all real quick, just to brighten, lighten up the mood a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And shine some light on one of our little heroes here. So hold on, y'all.
And then that's when she had the baby. While time was moving fast for 10-year-old Miracle, I was scared. It actually took about 10 minutes to help her mom, Viola Fair, deliver her baby sister, Jayla, with the help of this dispatcher.
I learned pretty quick that we had a serious situation. We had a set of protocols that we follow, and she followed all of my instructions to a T. Did an amazing job, and a few minutes later, we had another baby girl in the house.
Fair says she was so proud of her daughter Miracle, who helped her bring another miracle into their lives on October 23rd, 3 weeks early.
It was definitely a miracle because once I had the baby and she came out, I couldn't really grab her or pick her up or nothing. So then Miracle came and she was trying to wrap her up in a towel. She kind of rubbed her back a little bit so she can cry. So she was real helpful. I'm very thankful.
Shortly after delivery, paramedics from Christian Hospital took it from there. Miracle was given 2 awards for her heroic work.
Wonderful job. So we're so proud of you.
She says someday she might want to be in the medical field to continue helping people every day. But for now, she's focused on her first job, being a big sister times 2.
She's really cute. She doesn't.
So yeah, y'all. I just wanted to shine a little light on that. She did the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Little mirror.
I love that. Right. I hope that they encourage her to look into being a doula rather than being in the medical field.
Right. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that was my little feel good piece, y'all. My little, I love mama was doing the damn thing. All right. Let's move it right along. So whose story? I mean, I know it's everybody, but whose story was this originally?
I believe it was Charming's, but it's the city.
Mm-hmm. He pronounces Scooty. I have the video, so I feel like I kind of want you guys to see the video because I like his energy. And I'm so sorry if it's blurry. This camera likes to focus and refocus for some reason. So hold on, let me.
2 years since I got released from prison, that it finally hit the ground. My motivation for this video is to promote my invention and also give motivation to people who are trying to start something to don't give up, keep pushing, man. You know what you're trying to do. Keep your eyes focused on the prize. With this right here, as you can see, they came in. This is called a Scoody. SCHOODIE. Something I invented. I got a patent on it, patent lawyer, and etc. And I invented this when I was in federal prison. I had a situation where I was wearing a scarf. It was cold. I didn't understand really what the scarf was for. My ears was cold, my head was cold, and etc. So I prayed about it, and I asked the Lord to give me an invention, give me an idea of how I can create something and build wealth, not only for me, but for my family and people that's around me. So this is a Scoody. This is a scarf. This has my logo on it, which is Jason Roy, started in 2022. Now, this is a Scoody. And I put the red shoes on so you can see and it match. So this right here is the Scoody Jason Roy. And what is a Scoody? A Scoody is a scarf that turns into a hoodie. And the purpose is it just don't keep your neck warm, but also keep your ears warm, your head warm, and etc. And you also have zippers where you can place things in as such. So this is the zipper that's on the scarf. You can put your hands in it. If your hands too cold, you can put your phone, money in there, you can zip it up, and it can be secured in your Scoody. Now, if you get too cold and your ears is cold, like such, I don't have a jacket on. And sometimes you don't want to wear a jacket, it's too much to carry. Well, you just unzip it like this, and you pull your hood out. And you can put your hood on your head, right? You got your drawstrings, just like a natural hoodie. You can tie, you can do all of this. So I came up with this to get the purpose of keeping you warm without weighing too much. Now also, as you can see, you can tie, string tie, that way to protect your ears, protect your head, and you warm without weighing too much of a heavy coat. And you have pockets on each side. The material fabric is real soft, it's real good, it's authentic, and it's worth it. Now, I have another thing with this to the point to where sometimes you just don't want to wear the hoodie no more. It then got warm. So instead of you taking it off, rolling it back up, putting it back inside the scarf, I have this attribute to it, to where you unzip it from right here, and you just open it like a butterfly, and you just wear it to the back. So now this is a Scoody. This is my brand. This is a Scoody. My brand is Jason Roy, who I am, which is the founder of this brand. And this right here represents a Scoody. Bless up. What's going on?
So because this is a highlight, I want to give you guys his Facebook, because I got this off of his Facebook. You can like order it from him. He said you can order from him. His name is Jason Thomas. I think if you literally search Scoody in Facebook, you can find his post was the first post that you guys can't even see it, that popped up. So Jason Thomas, and you can order them from him. You guys probably have to message him. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I thought that was amazing. I love how he brought up how he prayed on it, and regardless of who he said he prayed to, I do love that he was
heard it. He didn't want him to go back telling dope. So
Right.
So yes, highlight Melanite.
Okay. Hey, man. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take our break real quick, and we're gonna be right back, y'all.
Welcome back. Quatita Dean. My name is Quatita Dean, and I am the Ancestral Interpreter. Soul Sessions Live is a show that you must hear and see to believe. I have helped many people connect with a lost loved one to get the closure they deeply desire. This is my passion, and I can't wait to take you on a walk with the ancestors.
Are we back for real this time?
Yeah, we back for real. I was trying to hit it, it kept clicking off, and it wouldn't play it right after. So it was like we sitting here, but I'm waiting on it to start.
right. That's too funny. Oh man. What are we moving into next, governess?
We are moving into first. I forgot to put it on here, so I'm just going to put it up here real quick. We don't have to have a long discussion about it. I'm just going to say it because I forgot to add it. And it was one of our second stories. There was, I think, maybe 2 arrests made, one last night in the Shaquella Robinson case. The girl Dejanay, she was arrested. And so we got an eye on it, trying to see what's going on with that. So from what my understanding, there's been 2 arrests made, one like last week and then one like last night or so. So let's see what happens with that. But we're going to go ahead and move on into, let's get it. Let's
Isaac
talk about
it. Yeah, this story right here is just basically, y'all, this man lost his life because he knew too much and said entirely too much. In a nutshell. I don't know who has more details. I did post some pictures. I don't know if we can show that on here, but yeah.
We won't show it on here, but I thought about it. I did, but we won't show that on here. But the pictures are of the execution. However, reports were that he jumped to his death and killed himself. How is it? Let's go, panel.
Yeah. Well, judging from the pictures I saw, it didn't look like he jumped to me. I mean,
I do.
What happened?
I might have put a regular picture up here of him. Nope, I didn't. Never mind. Let's go.
And then it didn't look like he committed suicide, like we discussed.
There you go. Let me pull you up close, Malika. Hold on.
I would like to also add, if you know what happened to Isaac Cappy, put an emoji in the comments so we know.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, even like just observing his body, from the picture that Corbin had sent us, it kind of looked like, like something in the movies where they some like forensic files where they taking pictures, but it's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like the body, it doesn't seem like that's really his body type stuff. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like that. It didn't look like it was him, or it didn't look like what they made.
I thought the same, Chaz. I thought the same. I felt like it looked like more of a like monster slash mark across his mark, like the chest when I seen him. It did not look like what it was said it should have been. It didn't look like what we think it should have looked like because the body was so intact in a certain way. Not that I wanted to see him mutilated everywhere and scattered, but it did not look that way.
The way that body was sitting there, it did not look like it had any type of impact on the ground like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I know what you're saying. Like something just slashed it for like organs or something. It does not look like how it should have looked, is how I feel.
Does anybody know how far was the drop? Because if anybody is dropping, usually your bones or something is going to break depending on how hard the impact is.
That's what I thought. You would see like the necks extracted, the bones from there, something like that. You would see.
I'm thinking about the
we didn't
legs
see
being
anything.
broken.
Yes, how they would shoot up. None of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell the committee about Isaac Cappy because some people don't know who he is.
Okay, break it down,
so
baby. Break
Isaac
it down.
Cappy is no problem. Is an actor and musician. I'm just on Wikipedia. it's crazy because I was not aware that he played in popular movies like Thor, Terminator, Breaking Bad. Like he was actually on a lot of different movies. And so apparently, according to Wikipedia, in 2018, Cappy appeared as a guest on Alex Jones Radio Infowars, on which he accused multiple movie stars of pedophilia as part of the QAnon conspiracy theory. You know Wikipedia. I'm just gonna read it, which involves a cabal of Satan-worshiping child molesters who run a global child sex trafficking ring. During the broadcast, Jones asked Cappy to basically not say any names, and Cappy basically got upset at him. But in moral of the story is this happened in 2018. He jumped to his death in 2019. So he is somebody who tried to out the Hollywood system, who I think also was a victim to it as well. So for those who didn't know.
Yeah. He's one of the first ones screaming Tom Hanks, Tom Hanks. I put it to you like that.
So I do want to preface that Isaac Cappy was also included in some songs that had some really interesting lyrics, and he engaged with some individuals that had some really interesting behaviors. But I think when you get around those people and you realize it goes past entertainment, because for some people they think it's just a kiki. He started going to dinners. He mentioned friends because other than Alex Jones introducing him to his audience, he also was a regular on Periscope. He would go live all the time on Periscope, and he would talk about all of these individuals, the dinners with Seth Green, the different things that he would see happen at the house while they were eating dinner. Fast forward to when I try to find a list of the individuals that allegedly, according to him, were engaging in all of this, but I couldn't find it. One of the main ones, yes, was Tom Hanks. And there was a lot of issues with Tom Hanks that individuals had after this, because if you have ever seen this man's social media pages, they are really weird. It's like baby shoes in random places, baby items, pacifiers, like in the middle of the street or on a bench. And
weird.
one of them was actually I think I had the post a minute ago, but one of them has Route 66, which is where Cappy jumped, and it said road kill anyone, and it was a picture of the ground there at Route 66, and a lot of people believe that he has something to do with the murder, suicide, alleged whatever of Isaac Cappy. Now there is a video of Isaac Cappy's last live where you could tell somebody was in the room. I'm sorry, there's no way around it.
Do you have it?
I don't have the video,
Oh.
but I do have the picture that supposedly was taken on someone's dash cam, and this is supposed to be the proof that he jumped. If you can see there, that's the hood of the car, and then that's him sitting on the side of the bridge. And supposedly that's supposed. It doesn't really seem like a real image, and it definitely, I mean, he's not even really sitting on it. It's kind of like sitting forward. I don't know, but that's what they try to use to say that it was actually a suicide. But the pictures, as the panel was stating earlier, they don't look like this. They don't look like
because he had on shorts.
Laid back.
Yeah, the picture that they show, he did have shorts on.
He had on shorts and he had on some shoes.
And you're absolutely right. And they're saying that this was his final picture. Look at investigate. Listen, Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call?
The story sounds reminiscent to what's his name, Owen Wilson, with like the nose hook. I don't know if we all remember him, and he had the same things that were going on. Allegedly, he committed suicide, I had thought, and then he came back, so they were able to revive him and whatnot, and he's going back with his merry life.
Yes.
Really? I did not know
He's
that.
always in comedy. He is the saddest motherfucker you ever know.
He is.
What?
I don't remember who was asking what the bridge looked like, but that's supposed to be the site where it happened.
Well, I think it's strange going back to what Malika said about Tom Hanks and all of the shoes and baby pacifiers. I think those are codes. I think they're codes. You
Commuting
know,
they other pedophiles and higher ups.
We went through the rabbit hole a little while ago, and they're supposed to be basically like codes of like, you know, children, you know, the trafficking codes. Like there's people who's actually done the research on his pictures and like tried to look up, you know, the pictures, and they basically, you know, obviously it's weird if you have pictures a random baby sock with a random caption. You know, people are really looking into that, but they they were trafficking codes. Yeah, yeah.
And then somebody say after Cappy was off, something about he posted some on Route 66 roadkill, something or another.
Yeah, Malika was saying that. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
Tom
that's what
Hanks did.
Malika just mentioned.
He
Okay.
posted that and said
Mhm.
roadkill anyone on Route 66, which everybody said was tasteless. Now I'm also gonna say I just said 2 days ago that I was gonna do a walk with crime on him. For anybody that think they don't pay attention and they don't watch, this came out this morning or last night
The
or
photos.
something.
I am you. Yeah, I found it on what's that other word? Telegram, and I sent it, put it in the chat. Yeah. And that was right
Yeah,
after
like
basically your
after I
thing.
said this, like now that's surfacing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
These motherfuckers
Mhm.
understand what's going on and they watch and
Yeah.
they pay attention. Just like
Mhm.
this morning, they kept kicking people off of my live
Mhm.
continuously. People were being kicked out of my
Really?
live. They shadow ban. These people, they have long arms, but again, we have long arms too. And I really, really wish we use them.
Sure. Say that. Say that.
And do.
Can we just say that
And
you are
I
do.
found a
absolutely
video.
you really quick, you are absolutely right about the codes, because that post that I was just showing, one of his posts here, the caption to it is found period at bottom of the sea period one girl's parentheses question mark parentheses space shoe period to claim call one dash Neptune with the northeast, the NE being large capital and everything else lowercase. Call one dash Neptune space 44 space 66 period Hanks. Now,
No,
what is that?
that's latitude, longitude.
Coordinates.
That's area.
Yeah, that's
Those are
coordinates.
coordinates. Yes, where they
Wow.
can find and
Mm.
go and pick that up. Wow.
So, what's I don't know. Ever since I've been seeing Route 66, I've been over here thinking that what if this is one of the routes that they take for trafficking? What if Route
Mhm.
66 is
I
one of
want
those?
to say that it is, Aubrey. I want to say that
Mhm.
there was a documentary on the highways. One of them is in Florida as well. That there is a group, and I wish I remembered the name of this documentary. There is a group of truckers that have been known to be within these pedophilic rings. And there have been a lot of bodies found off of the highways of Florida all the way up on specific highways in different places where these bodies have not been spoken about. And they were doing a deep dive investigation trying to figure out, like, a lot of the individuals that are kidnapped at the truck stops and those things. It's these groups of truckers that are doing that. So I feel like Route 66 was one of them, and that you have hit the nail on the head with that. But I'll find out and I'll let
Mhm.
you know, sis.
This
Yes.
makes me think of that one app. I don't know if anybody remembers during the vid. It was called Randonautica, and it was like people like coming together. I don't know if anyone knows about the app. I was in such a weirdo state, but you like literally get coordinates, and then you get coordinates, and I thought it was so cool because I'm like it aligns to you, like the coordinates you get align to your energy, and you go. But when you go on TikTok and you've seen how it went, and a lot of people's energy or the people they were with, they would either get entities or they would get not just entities that would be there, they would get coordinates to where somebody was in a trunk for so long and you found like this trunk and it was a dead corpse. Like that was Randonautica, getting those kind of things and whatnot. That's kind of like what Tom Hanks and them do, though. That's what it makes me think of. But that was random as well. And I also wanted to tie in real quick with what me and Charming were talking about with the Black Dahlia. We had spoke on it and how it was introduced in Wednesday when it premiered. And literally, it shows you little steps about how what we're saying is kind of aligning in some of these TV shows. It's very strange, but also her character, she just does what it does. And that's all I got to say on that. You go ahead. You go ahead.
I have to watch that, Jose. I haven't seen it because, like, maybe 3, 4 years ago, I did a walk with crime on the Black Dahlia, and I would
You did.
love to see what it says, if they're gonna tell the truth or if they're gonna lie about it.
I remember that interview.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. That's where I remember she doesn't like being called Black Dahlia.
Yep.
She
Yep. She
didn't
hates
like
that
it.
name. Hmm.
I remember you said
Oh no. Wait a minute.
Oh no,
You broke
Charming.
They
up.
don't
Say it
want you to
again.
tell us.
Say it again, Charming.
okay, am I back?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember she didn't like being called Black Dahlia because she didn't remember or understand why she was being called that, because she was like, "Are they confusing me for a black woman?" I remember that very specifically, and you know, she would prefer to be called Elizabeth Short. So, and what we were
Do
talking
you
about
know?
was,
I only
I
know
don't know
that
if
I
you
did the
guys seen it. This
interview.
is
I don't remember anything. It's crazy. Y'all remember it. I just know that I did it. I do not remember any details from it. I would have to go back and watch that. I'm sure it's on my old Facebook.
it was
Mhm.
yes, that was
By the way,
a
you
very
guys,
amazing
all of these
one. We
videos are
definitely would.
on the Quotita Yes I Am a Queen Dean page. I'm locked out. I can't operate it, but I can go in and still get my pictures and see my stuff. But if you're looking for any of my old videos that the bitch did not destroy, they're still on that Facebook under Quotita Yes I Am a Queen Dean, from the Sammy Davis Jr. interview. I think um, um, James Brown. All of those are on there. You can find them there. That's where I pulled off the Naya interview and I pulled the Kim Porter interview. I went and pulled them off of there because they're still all on there. The bitch didn't destroy that.
Yeah, no, she got rid of some good shit. I still want to
Oh,
smack her for that shit.
we talking about blue
Anyway,
carpet? I'm gonna go back on mute. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm very protective when it
Malika.
comes to my. I'm sorry.
I was
Look,
like blue
look.
carpet. Oh yeah, blue carpets.
I'm gonna spray
Go
myself.
ahead,
Okay, I'm gonna
Charmy.
spray myself today.
The Adina Giants.
yes, come on, Charmin. Come on. Segway, baby. Segway.
Okay, y'all. Okay, so you got to bear with me because it was really hard to gather like information on this, but it's still interesting, and you guys could go look it up too. So Royal sent me an article talking about Adina, Adina Giants revealed, and it is spelled Adena. Just if you want to Google it, and so a little bit about them. They were giants. Um, the reason why they know that is because they found them buried in mounds. I'm gonna try to get a picture because that's I'm sure some of you guys understand like what I'm talking about, but so yeah, so they would find like giant mounds, and when they excavate them, they found giant skeletons in them. Like so, they would be in between 7 feet to very rarely up to 11 feet tall. Um, I guess they're pre-Columbian, and I found it interesting that according to a lot of the things that I read, that um, they were before a lot of the tribes that we know of. I'm trying to see if I could. I have a hella like articles of them pulled up. So, but they were part of before a lot of the tribes that we know of. So, um, why they are important is because they basically, I guess, built these large mounds, but they, as you know, how they always say they didn't have the technology, yada yada yada. But I want to just point out a couple of things about what they said about them. And it relates to Malika and Quasita's head wrap that they have on today. So, um, when they find these giants, um, their brains or their cranial skull is what they called brachycephalic. I think that's how you pronounce it. And basically, 89% of the adult males and 92% of the adult females were brachycephalic. So it kind of just means their heads were elongated, which I'm sure you guys have seen them. But that is a sign of royalty. And it's interesting because the other day I posted my teeth and how they carve into the teeth, and they have long skulls, and they have the gems in their teeth, and they have all the, hematite, and they have full teeth that are crystals. And the whole point of this was, this tribe is called the Adena tribe. And what's really interesting is that they're only called the Adena tribe because there's a man who owns, there we go. Gratitude, Malika. There's a man who owns a piece of land that has a big mound on it, and he named it Adena. So I kind of feel like they're not telling us something, and I kind of feel like I find it very interesting that they keep pointing out that, oh, this is the last thing. This is the thing that was very interesting. So according to this website, this will be the last thing I say because this is kind of the cake, the cherry on top, and then we can talk about it. So they were known for being
Bring it together, charming girl. We listening.
Sometimes I go on and on. I could really go on and on. So they are known to also be artists, carpenters, stuff like that. And so it says many of the pieces of art that they made that were smaller and more personal revolved around their shamanic beliefs. Specifically, the transformation of humans into animals, particularly birds, wolves, bears, and deer, and back to human form. Deer antlers, both real and constructed of copper, wolf, deer, and mountain lion jawbones, and many other objects were fashioned into costumes, necklaces, and other forms by the Adena. This concludes that there may be a chance the Adena practices shamanism. But yeah, and so I look, and I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this picture, but let's see if it'll clear up. Okay, there we go. So it is a X-ray of a man that's supposed to basically be a mix of a werewolf and a man, and it says this Adena man had his 4 top front teeth removed to effect his transformation. The palate of a wolf or bear or mountain lion was inserted in the space created by the removal of the teeth. The hide of the animal was still attached to the palate and upper jaw of the animal, further aiding the shaman's transformation. When he spoke, it was as half man, half animal. We know this transformation by the name of werewolf, but the concept was widely known in the Americas. The oldest yet seen examples of the metamorphosis are from the Olmec in Mexico, where jaguars were depicted more than 3,000 years ago. And you guys
doesn't that sound listen, if they do this one more time, let me tell y'all something. I know y'all motherfuckers is out there doing this reset motherfucker, but okay, I ain't never had no damn problem with talking. I don't know what the hell y'all doing, but y'all need to stop playing with me, okay? All right, let me get that out. Woo, don't that sound like us, y'all? I know, child. Listen. I don't know.
I just find, so the last thing I read, I really find it interesting that they're kind of making it seem like there was like surgery done on this person. But a part of me feels like that's not the case. Like a part of me feels like it was an actual transformation that was midway and just not finished. Like I don't feel like they're inserting the palate of a fucking animal into the person's mouth to make them a werewolf. Like,
right.
I'm being nosy, trying to figure out what Governess is drinking. I felt like if I got closer to the screen, I could figure out what she was drinking. What you drinking? Yes,
I went in here and made me a banana peanut butter smoothie.
Share. Did you see me lean in like I was about to take your cup?
I was over there like,
Charlie, I have added under Newtonberg code, I wrote Adena tribe because I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more research on what's happening here.
I want to say something about it. My energy is so high, my screen keep changing colors and all kind of shit, y'all. But real quick, all I want to say about this is I think it's so weird that first it's called the Adena tribe. They seem like they were the original people. They were giants. And let's not forget ADNA, which is actually, you can look it up in etymology, ADNA, Adina, equals the word Eden, like the fucking garden, which also means luxury, fine linens, and beautiful things. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that ain't no damn coinky dink.
I was gonna say, so if that was the original people, as Truman was describing them, all I could get was when she was saying transformation was like Kakusas. Like maybe then we can, transform. Then you know what I'm saying? Because ain't no way you just gonna do surgery like that. It's not giving that at all. It's like they try to throw their little spin on it. So when she said that, I was like, oh yeah, they was Kakusa. They was transforming back then.
See, I don't think it was a surgery either. They showed you so easily on Twilight and whatnot how they just transform like that. Your teeth just, everything just shifts. Everything just goes. Like, if he's going into a werewolf state, he's completely shifting. Of course, the human's going to deteriorate when you transform into the Kakusa. I believe that is no surgery, but I'm intrigued.
Remember the video? I think it was actually played here on Let's Have the Conversation, or else Governess played it on a live of the young boy. I still believe that video when they asked him to show
and
he
Haiti.
shifted. There was a few, back to Haiti. I forgot that was
Yeah,
in
it was
Haiti. Look at
Haiti.
Chad. Yes,
And it was
Chad.
a very
Come off of
Haiti.
mute. Come off of mute, sis.
It was in Haiti.
It was in Haiti. It was, and the teeth. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Governors played this previously with the young boy who he was standing there, and all of a sudden he started to shift, and his teeth, the werewolf teeth, they came down from his mouth, like he completely shapeshifted. And there were about 3 or 4 videos at that time going around that were like this with different young men in the videos. And so, listen, blame it on surgery if you want to. At the end of the day, I never believe the reason that they scientifically give for any of this stuff, because I know that's the one thing you're trying to convince me of that's going to get me away from the truth. I believe it. Original people, I was briefly looking. That's why I said I'm going to do more research, because it says that they're connected to the title, the star people. And we already know about the cosmos and the connection with that. So I want to see how many things align in regards to what we've learned from Governess and what they're saying about the Adina tribe.
Oh, can I say something? You made me think of this, Malika. I had a client the other day that I did her session, and she said her grandfather, who was Cherokee Indian, she said he used to tell her stories about the sky people. She said she was a little girl and he would tell her stories about the sky people, how they would come down. I do not believe that this is a fictitious kind of thing. Like there was a video besides these young guys from Haiti. There was a video a few years ago, probably like I want to say maybe 7-8 years ago, of this guy. He had took this girl. He would do like magic tricks where he would like transform a shapeshift. Right? He was a Melanite. He was fine too. Anyway, he took this girl because she didn't believe. He said he was going to turn into a wolf. And she didn't believe that shit. He took her upstairs. They in the ghetto. They in the projects. He took her upstairs. She trying to get the door closed. He say, don't come in this circle. Stay outside this circle. She's still trying to close the door. Now you hear the growling noise. And she's trying to close the door. She get it closed. And she turned around. She seen him. She opened that door, took flight. She almost like she jumped down the steps. And the video cut off. Like she was gone.
I would love to see that. That's all I wanted to say. I would love to see that video.
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up while we talk about whatever else we talking about.
That would be so intriguing.
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
You know what?
I don't know if anybody else has ever seen it.
There's
Never seen it, but I want to. Please.
So I'm looking up more about it, and there's another instance where they excavated a skeleton out of what they have are called snake or serpent mounds. So they're super big mounds that are shaped like snakes, and they uncovered a skeleton that had upper medial and lateral incisors and supporting bone of skull intentionally broken out. and it allowed for the insertion of a worked wolf jaw spatula, as reported from an individual, allowing allowing him to become a wolf shaman. So it's another case of them finding somebody with a half developed animal jaw.
Yeah, there's more. There's a lot of that kind of stuff out here that they try to say ain't real. It is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Even with their size, I know previously I was learning or hearing about the Nephilims, because you all know I don't know a lot about a lot of, but the Nephilims, and thinking about like the intimacy between those who are in the physical and these beings of grandeur. And listen, Quatita is good, because with a love like Yehuda and Quatita, I would have perfected the Immaculate Conception. So it wouldn't surprise me if let me tell you what, baby, we're going there. It would not surprise me to know that these gifts are passed down through just that, even that strong connection. Because look how many gifts have been opened up within people that just get the experience of learning from Quatita, from learning from Governess in the classes. You know what I'm saying? That direct connection. There's connections in ways more than what we can even fathom. Imagine these beings with things being so pure back then compared to all of the distractions we have now, what they would have been capable of. What, man, stars the limit. I won't even say sky's the limit. Stars the limit on that one.
right. No, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah, the purity of the, yeah. I can see what you're saying, for sure. For sure. Um, but yeah, like I was saying though, I don't think it's a coinky the whole name of the Adina thing. That's not a coincidence, not by a long shot. That me? Okay, I guess that's me. All right. All right, so woman stabs children. I don't think that was me though, but okay, we can talk about it.
I think you posted it in the chat. In her chat. I think it was about the women that she made a post on Facebook.
Yeah, you talked about it in the meeting today. You said a woman
in her car,
about she stabbed her children.
I remember talking about I remember talking about the cop lady that stabbed her girlfriend. Same long line.
Oh no, okay, that was me. Okay, so she's
see, Chad.
But I think you posted it in the chat though. I think that's what it is. Okay, so let me get this together. So I don't know how long this was. Maybe this week, last week, I don't know. But anyways, this woman had posted very meaningful message on Facebook talking about keeping her kids home and keeping them safe and all that. But later comes home and kills her kids and stabs them to death and all in the tub. And the husband comes home and finds them in the tub. Like, I guess this just happened randomly. And I think she had like 2 or 3 sons or something like that she stabbed them. And like what she posted on Facebook, I don't know if we can pull up the picture sent in the chat. It's probably way up there. But
yeah, I'm trying to go.
The post and what happened, it just, it's giving ritual, then at the same time it's giving possess, it's giving,
Yes, Chaz. It was actually in the bathtub. Mm-hmm. The 3 years old and 11-month-old. Mm-hmm. The mother's last name Fleming, and it says that she actually did this in a family shelter.
It was in a shelter?
Yes. And she put them in the tub, she stabbed them and submerged their bodies. Listen, all of these waters, I'm gonna go back on mute. Go ahead, Chaz. Yeah,
See, I didn't even know it was in the shelter, but the tub was what threw me. You know what I'm saying? Because for years, we've been hearing about serial killers, just killers, period. When it comes to women and their children, it's always in the tub, and they always stabbing them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes me wonder, like, what makes you just wake up one day and just say, I want to stab my kids and put them in the tub and put them underwater. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's giving like what kind of energy is being pushed out there. Like, it's so much stuff happening behind the scenes that we don't even, even fabric to believe that this could happen to someone. You don't know what's in the house. You don't know what kind of, even in that shelter, you don't know what kind of energy is being pushed through there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. Yeah, it's just.
Now, Chaz, this was the same lady that posted that whole little scripture of like how Juicy J had there were demons on them and whatnot, right? Because there was a lady who wrote like a post about like why she did it. I don't know if that's the same story, but
That's what
is
that is.
that her? Okay, just making
It's a
sure.
Melanite woman too.
Yeah, because I feel like it was that story and she had wrote like why she did it, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I
Hold
want to
on.
so bad, but I know if I go out, government is gonna have to bring me back in. But it's a picture. They got our like it has her picture, then it has what she said on the side. So if we can get that pulled up, it'll make it sound so much understanding to everyone, because what she said versus what happens is kind of like like it's giving possession, then it's giving ritual, then it's giving just like why and how. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know the type of people, that you come across, and just being around them children, children are just so innocent, sacrificing, it's just yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
believe
it.
that's it.
This is it. It
That
says,
it?
I want my children to always know if the relationship ain't working, come home. If the bills become overwhelming, come home. If you feel unsafe, come home. If something don't feel right, come home. I want my kids to always know they can come home. I never believed in the saying, they 18, they grown. My kids are forever my kids, and I always want them to know they can come home.
Now, this thing
See,
about
that comes
home.
from like weird anyway, like mental health issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's another thing where we have to take in consideration mental health is real because she never wants her baby to grow up and whatever circumstance she's living in, like they're in the little shelter, whatever that circumstance is, she's probably like, I just don't want them to grow into, I don't know what's going on in her mind, but it might be something even more diabolical than we can grasp that she sees in her head, like if we keep going further than this, it's going to be this. We don't know, but that's a lot of mental health right there.
But this
And
is
to
my thing.
piggyback off of you, Jose, what is home? Where is your home? That is the question, because, honey, you ain't got no home. You
And
ain't
That's what
I
I
got
didn't
was
no
know she was in
wondering.
the shelter. That's why I didn't even know she was in the shelter, because she kept saying
Unless
home.
she was being ancient and saying home is where the heart is, and you'll always be in my heart. If that's what she was doing, like if that was her reference, home is where the heart is. I don't know.
Possibly. Possibly.
But if
Mm-mm-mm.
she was in the shelter, don't they go through like some type of process to where, or evaluation or anything, to where if the mother was unstable, she wouldn't be able to have her kids or anything like that? Don't they don't go through no processes or anything like that? They don't do evaluations.
I
They're
think it depends on
supposed
the
to.
shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when children are involved, there should be in the intake process, there should be some type of
Look,
evaluation.
there's a lot in regards to this case, and I'm looking through an article on the New York Post, just to cite where I'm getting the information from. It says, meanwhile, court records reveal that a woman bearing the same name and date of birth as Fleming was charged in a child pornography case in York County, PA, in April of 2018. I'm assuming they worded it that way because they haven't got absolute validation that it's the same person, but it's same name and date of birth. Details about the case and its outcomes were not immediately available. Fleming had been taken into custody Saturday night after cops responded to the apartment on a report of a woman acting irrationally and igniting things in the kitchen. She was found naked on the third floor, police said. Cops didn't notice the slain boys buried under a pile of clothes in the bathtub when they took her away. So she laid clothes over them in the bathtub as well. A neighbor had told police that the kid's dad had them, authorities said. Police returned to the shelter about 8 p.m. after a 911 call from the frantic dad, Columbus, Canada, 31, who found his son's lifeless bodies. On Sunday, law enforcement sources told the Post that Fleming may have killed her sons because she believed that they were possessed. She made statements about the devil, unusual statements, a police source said. In an earlier Facebook post, the mom also chillingly wrote, it's only one true God, and I repent from all wrongdoings and negative influence, leaving all things that no longer serve me. Thank you for your mercy. The woman was previously investigated, Chaz, this goes to your question, by the Administration for Children's Services after Deshaun was born, according to sources who said she was suspected of improperly caring for the boy. In an email Monday night, a spokesperson for ACS said that the safety and well-being of New York City's children is our top priority. We are investigating this case with the NYPD. So there was a lot going on there. And just quickly to go back to the tub situation, Chaz, there is a channel that I watch on YouTube that is specifically focused on Melanite children, and that these things happen to them based on by the hands of their parents or parents' boyfriends. And it's literally so common that these babies are found in the tub, or that these things are done to them in a tub, that it's like something that the people in the comments say, where he's like, guess where they found this one? And everybody in the comments will say, in the tub, because it's so regular that they commit these acts. So it goes back to what you were saying of what energies are around that have all of these different people in different places committing the same acts, snapping in the same way and doing the same things, whether it's the trunk or the tub or wherever it is. They're all regularly doing this.
And if it's not the energies, we also know it could constitute to be something else. And we all know what that is. And we're starting to see it in real time where they're acting the fuck out of crazy with it and they're doing whatever. So that's another thing to keep our eyes on as well. You don't know who's going cuckoo kazoo because the chip got turned on. It's cut on now. And we're seeing it in real time. That's another energy that we have to take accordance to.
Taking consideration for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then on top of
Absolutely.
that, the Juicy J energy and all of that, you know what I'm saying? So I can see all of that just coping into one, and just, you know, once the switch is in that, you ain't no coming back from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it is what it is. So they can call it insane, mental, whatever they want to do, but you gotta remember that they planted all of this into us. You know what I'm saying? All this trauma, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, the jab, like, yeah.
You know what's interesting, Chaz, with you saying that with the Juicy J energy. I remember back in the day on Beagle, there was a gentleman that came on a panel I was on, and he was devout. Like, I'm not even gonna have a conversation with you. I'm gonna just hit you with the quotes and the phrases. And I was like, sir, that really doesn't mean a lot to me, because I wasn't raised in the church. I've been to church, I've been around different religions, but it's not gonna have the same it's not going to have the same effect on me like you throwing holy water at a vampire. It's not going to do that. So when we were talking about it, he ended up at the end of our conversation being in tears, because once we sat and we talked, I mean, this was like a 3-hour conversation where at the end he ended up saying that a lot of times he can't deal with the psychosis of situations, the way that his mind is set up during certain situations, because he's always been taught to be dependent on a book and things outside of himself, and was never taught to trust his own inner voice. So at times he would get offended when he hears individuals like ourselves that say that we can talk ourselves out of what's being spoken to us, when he's always been taught that these greater forces are talking to you, and just be scared. Like, if you hear it, run away. Don't listen. Don't pay attention. So he never did that work, and he finds himself being close to snapping because of the fact. Sorry for the dogs. Y'all already, I know y'all know Spirit and Sage, they on a mission. But you know, he always dealt with this, and he ended up saying that he was going to do some work. So I wonder with that, how many other people feel like they've only ever been taught to depend on things outside of themselves, and they don't know how to say, this is not you. They don't know how to say ifomi. They don't know how to do these different things that we have learned and that we should naturally be doing with self, because it's made so dependent, that relationship.
Well,
It's a good way to look at
that
it.
whole construct is, you don't trust yourself. You trust Juicy J. Bottom line, you don't. You know what I'm saying? And if it is you, say it is your higher self talking to you, your spirit talking to you, that's not your spirit. That's the Holy Spirit. See, that's not you.
So then
You
who's
feel what I'm
there to talk
saying?
you out of it when these things greater than you, in whatever way, shape, or form, whether it's a good or bad, are convincing you to do things outside of your character? Who then is there? I mean, it's just a question that I'm gonna put out there for other people to answer. Just
It's a
It's the
valid question.
energy, because now you allow these entities to come in because you've been raised in such a religious aspect of being trained and taught these certain ways of living, you know what I'm saying? And people up there speaking messages inside your head. So who you gonna believe? You know what I'm saying? You couldn't believe that somebody's possibly trying to help you, or, you know, tell you to do these things positive, you know what I'm saying? Because you've been put in that oppressive energy. So
exactly. And it's like when they have those moments to where they're going into these purges after rolling up in a Honda, and Osama bin Laden, as what Tina was saying the other day, is weird, because it's like, what the hell is going on? And I know I have been in situations to where I'm like, this is scary as hell, because this person is really going, like, they becoming this whole different type of individual, and you thinking that they getting help, but girl, when they get back up in the next week, girl, they the same person. You ain't changed. And if anything, through month, and this is what kills me when they say, Monday through Saturday, you somebody else, and Sunday you something. And I'm like, what? But a lot of these people are just as so hypocritical as the person that you're trying to condemn. Why is it so bad for people to be people when we all know that we're not perfect? So why are we trying to make ourselves perfect?
Can I say something on top of that?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Me looking for this video have now depressed the fuck out of me because of everything that I just saw. Genomes are very sick individuals. I've never seen some of these videos and mutilations, and how dare YouTube block me from some of the shit. And you have allowed, there's a video of a black man with another Melanite man, a gun to his head. He's giving his daughters the last words before he killed him in front of his daughter. That's a video. And then the mutilation that these genomes have done to their bodies, cutting their noses off, making themselves look like aliens. And then there's a fucking Bengal tiger eating a man's head. Like, I'm really confused. Genomes are fucking sick. I want to rid the earth of them. And that has depressed the fuck out of me, seeing these videos. Like, I was really the fuck out done. Let me just go to this next segment, y'all, because I bring the question remains why people can't just, it's because of the sick mind of the genome, because they don't have a fucking soul. I don't give a fuck. I'm starting to believe none of them do, because they're so despicable, almost in totality. You know what I'm saying? That it's like hard to find one good one. I won't give a fuck if she jump in front of somebody trying to save their life. Bitch, I don't believe you, because really you have a God complex. You just want that saving grace. Like Malika said the other day when I played the video, was it last week? And he was like, I don't need her to be like telling black women how strong they are, bitch. We know. Y'all are some sick individual ass fucking people, which is why this situation right here is still fucking happening. Sick motherfuckers.
Yeah. Sick individuals. First of all, how do you lose somebody 6'8", 6'9"? How do you not know where they are? Then when you do find them, they're in atrocious conditions. Anybody else want to add in on this?
This situation right here, I'm gonna say this. It's very sickening to know that we are in America, and to know that America's been giving all this money, billions, trillions of dollars to these people, and the fact that, you know, we asked of one thing, just bring home one Melanite woman, and you can't even do that because the other person is too dangerous, or whatever the case may be, for a trade, or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not getting it, but y'all can send over here and send all this money over here. And then y'all allow this, like they allow this to happen. Like this is a message. If nobody sees this is a freaking message to us. You know what I'm saying? Especially us as women. You know what I'm saying? It's Melanite women that they're not going to. They don't care. They don't care. She did what she did, so leave her over there. And it's been so much hate about this, about just a drop of weed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they have their rules and regulations over there, and so do we. But
I don't believe
it just
she had anything. I don't believe
I
she
don't
had
either.
anything. I believe Brittany Griner was
saying.
bought. She was bought. I'm so fucking angry. I'm sorry.
And I agree as well. I agree that she was bought.
That situation
Also,
is
they
way
have
bigger than
her.
what we think.
Yes, it's bigger than what we think. They have her into a form of slavery if people don't see that too. She has to work like 16-hour days and whatnot, but you lost her. Now we're going to court saying that she has to work 16-hour days. The math isn't mathing. And then now you're turning it into a sexuality thing. So we don't think about what you're doing to her and how it is all a slave economic thing with her. You literally are trying to make it into, is she trans? Is she a lesbian? No, we see what's really going
All
on here. That
irrelevant.
means nothing. That's not even relevant to what's going on to her. It's not fair. But you go ahead, Charmin and Aubrey.
Listen, I was going to I'm gonna go ahead and express to what I was me and Governess, we were talking the other night. And I told her, I said, I really feel like Brittany is being molested by these people allegedly, in my mind. I cannot get it out of my mind. I don't know what is going on. I don't care how anybody feels about it, but this is what I feel when I see it. Number one, she was in a facility to where you guys were able to get in contact with her, the United States, all of that. Biden old ass was like, we're going to do what we can. You have not done it yet because you have some collateral of these people and they want that collateral before they send you back your collateral. But they are doing some things to this woman that by the time, if they do release her back to us, Brittany is not going to be the same. She is not going to be the same. She's going to be broken. She is going to have to really, that baby is going to be gone. They are going to have to put her in a psychiatric ward for her to be able to be stable. These Russian men are
And
up there
that
having a
actually,
field day.
yes, I was about to say, sorry.
No, go ahead.
That actually supports what I was thinking. Like, all of this just sounds like they're experimenting on her, and like, you know, after they experiment on people, they get the data they need, and then they toss you in a fucking psychiatric ward on the guise of, you know, you went crazy while you were in jail. But obviously it's going to be more to that, because I've seen a lot of people in the comments saying like harvesting your eggs or doing like sexual experiments or whatnot. But Russians be doing experiments. Like, Russians are fully, they not only that, you see it in television, they are known for doing experiments, and obviously Melanites are not exempt to being experimented on, especially
11/11.
So yeah. Oh.
I was going to say that it's not giving prison to me. Like, it's giving more so, like we said, a facility. You know what I'm saying? Because how you lose somebody that's 6'9" and how you can't be in contact. Any other time you want to go and y'all want to bring your little television, your little cameras inside of jails and preview the prisoners and all that. So how is it that y'all don't have this power to go inside of a prison and see what's going on? Because it's like we said, it's bigger than what we think. They doing experiments, definitely.
So,
and let's talk about how sorry.
That's okay. There's a member of a Russian feminist group. The name of the group is Pussy Riot. And she was actually arrested. Maria Alyokina, I don't know. She's Moscow based, and she's a feminist. And she was actually arrested for a protest performance that she did in front of a church with her group. And they arrested her for 2 years. Now, she's been speaking up about her fears when it comes to Brittany being at the penal colony. So interesting that the name is the penal colony. Anyway, she says that they wake you up early in the morning. They come in screaming, saying, "Wake up, whores." They drag them out the beds. They're made to work for 16 hours. One of the main jobs that's there is to sew uniforms for the police, the Russian police that are there. She has said that it's totally inhumane. Where's the part? For 100 women, there's about 3 toilets and no hot water. She also spoke about, in the interview that I watched, she spoke about the people unaliving themselves, and she said it's not easy to get tools in there to unalive yourself. So I'm assuming she was trying to say they take themselves out in the most gruesome ways possible just to get out of this system. She said if she barely survived almost 2 years, she has no idea how Brittany is going to survive 9 years, because even when they send you to the doctors after they've messed you up, the doctors don't report anything. The doctors keep everything hush hush and convince you out of your story, because nobody talks really about what's going on in this location. That's some scary stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say specifically about her being lost. Let's talk about the verbiage of that. Is she escaped? Like, did she escape?
Right.
You know, is
Right.
somebody with her? Because she's
Right.
lost, but she's not gone. You know, somebody has to be with her. So in reality, it's just code for she's somewhere that we don't know where she's at. She's literally lost to them, but they know that she's somewhere else. She's not literally lost. They just, you know, again, probably are having her, you know, do experiments. Y'all seen Luke Cage? You know, like that they were literally doing that to him in Luke Cage. They forced him to be in the Fight Club, and then they were doing experiments on him that literally turned him to being indestructible. So regardless, you know, that's important to look at is the words that they're using. You know, she didn't escape, she's just lost. But how the fuck are you lost? Like, don't you have people who are in charge of you, you know?
I feel like somebody in the go ahead. I feel like somebody in the White House administration knows exactly where she is.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can, like you said, that woman be lost? And she, first of all, I feel like she didn't get what we would consider a fair trial. Nobody ever heard her speak. I don't believe she even had what she had. Am I mistaken to say that she was like a celebrity over in Russia? You know, she's well known over there, isn't she? Didn't she play ball over there? This is not her first time traveling. She would know what to do. She would know the rules. I really believe that she was bought. And we don't know who, because if she's known, people have their eye on her. I want her. I want her. We don't know who the fuck wanted her. You know what I mean? 9 years? That sounds like some sort of slavery trade agreement type shit. Like, that don't, for a vape pen, I don't believe she even fucking had. She would know the rules.
Right.
It's not her first time traveling. And if it
Right.
was,
I don't think she's gonna be there for 9 years.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna be there for 9 years.
She's not gonna come back.
I think she's gonna be there for her time. They're gonna do what they need to do to her, and they're gonna say she's getting out on, you know, good behavior or whatever. But by that time, it's not gonna be 9 years, but she's still going to be broken and damaged by the time she's out.
Either
so
the U.S.
it's gonna look to
has
us like a
something
good
that they
thing.
want. You know what I mean? Either the U.S. has something that they want, and or you know what I'm saying? I was telling Aubrey, I don't know if y'all remember the Genome Boy that was over in Singapore years ago, where they beat his ass in the public. They whipped his ass because him and his friend was over there stealing type shit. And they, what they call it? It was like a big ass stick where they whooped
Caning
his ass
or something like that.
What is it?
I think they call it caning or something like that.
Caning. That's what it was.
Mhm.
They caned him and sent his ass home. I do not believe this is what's happening. I do not. Well, listen, we had so many different stories that we did not get to tonight. We still didn't get to let's talk about real quick, just to mention it, that I think it was Jose said that they're treating this like a comedy skit, or they used Brittany Griner as a comedy skit, or made it a comedy skit, because it's always us that's a fucking joke. We didn't get to the Blood Sky. The multiple shootings, school shootings that have not been covered. That's not getting any press, any coverage. The execution of, I guess, a Melanite or something. I think that was Aubrey's story. And then the lady that was like talking about that lady's son said that motherfucker was too big for her to be holding. And this is a child she's speaking on. Listen, motherfuckers are crazy. Motherfuckers are crazy. Make sure y'all tune in next Wednesday with us. Let's have the conversation each and every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. We will see y'all later. We love you. Carbon.
We love y'all. We'll see you next week. Hope y'all had a good time. We did too. Until next time, don't trust no genome. Don't trust no genome.
Hit the like now.